Yes, my home turf. Let's go, concrete jungle.
I would love to hear. I can't wait to get Davey's take on some of this stuff. So, yeah, like I said, it was when I checked on the maps when I got to New York, I was like, you know what? I flew into an airport that's only a few miles from the hotel. That's great. It was 2.9 miles from the hotel. And when I looked at the map, it said it would take an hour to still get there, which was confusing to me. Mm-hmm. But as soon as I got into traffic, I realized why. After paying for a very expensive cab to take me 2 miles.
You did cab or you did Uber?
It was a cab. I did a cab from the airport.
Okay.
Which was a mistake. Except for we got a really aggressive driver.
Good one. That's a good one.
That's what you're looking for, right?
I would pay extra for
in
that.
New York, yeah, right. I was actually thrilled that I got a very aggressive driver.
Yeah.
And so immediately we get onto the bridge. Traffic's backed up on the bridge. Driver says, no problem. I'm going to just use the shoulder. I'm going to drive in the shoulder for the entire way on the bridge. So we drove on the shoulder. Plenty of signs that said, do not drive on the shoulder.
Oh, well.
But took it anyway.
That's a suggestion. Just a suggestion. Yeah.
I mean, he was taking fire lanes. He's using all the illegal routes of transportation, which was perfect.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved it. Shaved 30 minutes off of the time just by driving highly illegally.
You invited him to Florida Man games?
Yeah, right.
He'd be a great contender.
He signed up for the lawnmower races.
Right?
Yeah,
Dude could win that shit.
No, what I loved about New York is they're so not polite about driving. They're just like, here we do the waves. We let people in. We do the waves. They don't wait for you to let you in. Honestly, half the time they just roll down their window and point at the guy. They're just like, I'm going there. And you better know it because I'm going whether you like it or not.
I love it.
So they just point to where they're going to go. It was great. So he's just rolling down his window and pointing. You stop. I'm going there.
Yep. And you do it.
Great. Mm-hmm. It's great. Tip the hell out of that guy.
He's not joking when he says it.
Right.
No.
He's like, yeah.
No. He was, and I wasn't even worried because I know these guys know how to drive up there. You know, they know what they're doing. They do this all day long. That's literally their job is to drive.
Did he hand you his card after you got out of the cab and say,
I wish he would have.
Call me again? Did he do that?
I wish he would have.
He wasn't impressed with you as a passenger. I hate to say it.
Okay.
How much was that tip, buddy? Yeah.
There was a big protest by the hotel, so we had to get dropped off a little bit before the hotel. Lots of protests. And boy, you know, we see protests here in St. Augustine sometimes, and maybe 30 people show up to these things. Yeah. Thousands and thousands for random protests. Yeah. I mean, these were not issues that you and I have heard over the news or anything like that. These were like hyper local issues where thousands of people show up.
Did you see like the big giant rat blow up next to a business? Did you see that on the street at all? That's a thing.
Really?
So like if there's a business being like really super shady or they're dirty or something, like this whole like protest group will blow up this giant rat in front of the entire business and be like, don't go here because of blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
No, I did not see that.
Crazy.
Did not see that.
All right. So you get out of the taxi, then you get in the hotel.
Get to the hotel. The hotel's tiny.
Yeah.
I mean, the hotel, probably legitimately smaller than our studio.
It's like a dollhouse.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, very, very tiny. They crammed a lot into a tiny space, but did have a great view of One World Trade from the hotel room.
That is cool.
Yeah, it was great. Looked right out the window. You could see One World Trade. You could see some of the city, which was really, really nice. We stayed in Chinatown.
Okay.
And Chinatown was not the best neighborhood.
Yeah, but you got some fake Louis belts. Did you get any Gucci?
Oh, we were right across the street from the Porada store.
Oh, I love a Porada.
Yeah. Porada was very fancy. Yeah.
Not to be confused with Prada. It is Porada, baby.
That's right. Porada.
That's awesome. That's freaking awesome.
So I went down for lunch immediately to a place called Dudley's.
Okay.
Which is a little Australian-American place. They had a great burger.
Fish and chips.
Very solid burger. I got to tell you, the food was
in New York City's
unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Good.
I was very impressed with all the food I had up there in New York City. Had to stop by Kat's Deli, very famous deli out there, I guess. Yeah, legendary deli.
Legendary.
Yeah. Ned gave me the heads up on that. Got to stop by Katz's. Got a cheesesteak out there. It was very good.
Lower East Side, very nice.
Yeah. Yeah, man. There's a lot going on in the Lower East Side.
Yeah, I like it. It's a vibe.
We're staying near Central Park this time.
Okay. So, yeah. That was pretty far from where I was.
Yeah, but the first hotel we stayed in, there was 4 of us, and we stayed in the W, and it was actually smaller than this studio, and we had to change just because we couldn't even get around, the four of us. And I was like, okay, give me a handicap room, and
wow,
that way we could move around. And then like they had it the whole time. It was like I already paid for the upgrade, but they were like, maybe you won't notice. You know?
Yeah, you notice. You notice
immediately in New York. It's they bunch in there.
Yeah, very, very tiny place. But
you're only in the room,
right?
A certain amount of
time. I was
time
not in the room very much. It was really. I went there for meetings. You know, I went there to talk to people and meet people, and just, you know, it was a business trip for sure. But definitely got in some sightseeing. Got to head down to Little Italy. Italy was very nice.
Oh, great food there.
Yeah, really great food. Really great food. My highlight of the trip, I think, was seeing the Ghostbusters firehouse.
Cool. Saw your post.
Yeah. Oh, so exciting.
Have you watched the new one yet?
I watched it on the plane back. Yeah, it was terrible.
Good.
It was terrible. No, it was terrible.
You didn't like it? I enjoyed it. I thought it was good.
The
Family
plot was
fun.
bad. The story was bad. The characters were bad. It was good to see.
I didn't realize Mike Lewis was still here.
Yeah, me neither. Jeez.
It was good to see the original Ghostbusters, though. That was really cool. But the movie was not that good. It just wasn't. I was hoping for more, man. It wasn't funny. It wasn't funny at all.
I liked it.
You don't like Paul Rudd, do you?
He's too nice. He's a little too nice.
That's the key to whether or not you like the movie or not.
Yeah, you really got to like Paul Rudd. Yeah.
He was just kind of a dopey character.
Yeah, that's who he is.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
So, there was a lot I didn't like about the movie, but it was cool to see the firehouse. And, you know, it's an active firehouse. They still run trucks out of there, and
I didn't realize
it's a legit fire department. So, but a lot of the time, you know, they understand where their location is. So they still had the Ghostbusters sign on it and everything on the building, which was really cool. I guess it's been there since the 80s. But they sell trinkets and stuff out of there. Like they sell hats and shirts, and they sell the challenge coins.
Yeah.
So I got a challenge coin out of there to add to my challenge coin collection.
Beautiful.
And yeah, that was really cool to see that. Did a lot of walking, accidentally strolled into a couple of not so great neighborhoods. Yeah. It was very interesting because I went to a comedy roast battle night one.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
How was that?
It was cool. It was like you walk into this bar and then they send you to the basement. And then down in the basement, they do kind of this underground comedy show. It was totally unfiltered, un-PC. It was not what I was expecting from New York, which was really cool.
That's perfect.
Yeah, it was awesome. So
you literally were in a section of New York where the real artistic culture like is thriving, and it's dirty, it's gritty, it's unapologetic. That's my vibe down there. Downtown, anything south of 14th.
Yeah. And then didn't get out of there till like midnight. Had a sketchy walk back, and
right.
Woke up the next morning, and the first thing on the news was that 2 people have been stabbed to death right down the road from me.
Well, they walked into the night.
Vest.
Yeah,
so you're good.
Yeah, I totally had this vest then.
See, safe.
You know, that would, I think, made me more of a target.
Yeah,
if I would have actually walked around in this.
Well, you put it under your stuff, and then that way, if they go to stab you, it's like.
If you carried bear spray, I think that's what you'd be more of a target on that.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, didn't have any of that stuff. It was fine. If you don't mess with people, they don't really mess with you.
Yeah. Just don't walk like a victim. That's the most important.
That's right.
Yeah, you walk with purpose.
Yeah. Don't walk like a victim. No. Don't walk like this, like looking up.
Oh, I take pictures.
Yeah.
Selfies.
Yeah. But so that was concerning. You know, I did not tell my mother that.
Well, she knows now.
2 blocks down the road.
Now you did.
Yeah, now she doesn't have to worry.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, next
she
time
would
you
have
go to
worried.
New York, wear your vest.
Yeah.
You have your vest.
And the helmet. Yeah.
Yeah, I think TSA would be like, "What is this guy bringing a vest for? Why
shooting
does
a
this
music
guy have a
video?
bulletproof
I'm going to
vest?"
New York. Oh.
Yeah. I'm staying in Chinatown.
Here's an extra vest and a pistol.
Right. Yeah. Oh, you could have just taken us up on the complimentary vest that we offer. Yeah. They hand it out to you at the airport in New York when you get there. But no, it was really cool. It was really cool to just see all the buildings and the architecture, even though a lot of them were spray painted and you couldn't tell how some people got up that high to spray paint a building. But But really cool experience.
They're very
man.
creative.
Mhm.
Yeah, they are. Oh, so let me tell you about, so my first meeting of the day on Monday
Okay.
was with, I can't really describe who it was with.
Yeah.
Can't really do that yet. But it was with
potential-
some very important people.
A potential asset to Florida Man Games.
A potential asset to Florida Man Games. Yes.
Okay.
It was a very important meeting. It was my most important meeting of the trip. And so you guys, Davey in particular, gave me some advice. Wear black.
Mhm.
Wear black to the meetings.
Mhm.
So I went out and got a nice black button up.
Perfect.
Looked very professional.
great.
Yeah, looked great. Got ready, went down there, decided not to tuck my shirt in.
Fine.
Yeah, wasn't going to tuck the shirt. That's
Absolutely.
fine.
Athleisure.
Tag was
Very
still
good.
on.
Very in.
Tag was
Tag-
not
oh
still
my
on.
God.
No,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
no.
You didn't have like medium sticker on the side by the boob or anything.
Yeah,
Yeah. M.
Coming
Yeah.
down like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll tell you why not tucking it in plays into this story here shortly. But so I started walking. It was less than a mile down the road. So I started walking, and first I started walking about 5 minutes in the wrong direction.
That's normal.
Which,
Yeah.
which was unfortunate. Really could have used that 5 minutes. But when I figured out which direction I was supposed to be walking in, started walking that way, and about halfway through my walk, started raining.
Oh yeah.
Started raining. Not too bad. It was light.
Spitting.
Yeah, it was just kind of spitting out there. So I was like, okay, I can handle this. This is not that bad. I'm not going to be soaked when I walk into there. It's fine.
Hair will look fine.
Hair looked perfect.
Sure, it wasn't condensation from air conditioner units.
Could have been.
Yeah.
It could have. There were a lot of places to kind of, if I stood near the walls and there were awnings and stuff like that. So it was okay.
Okay.
Hot dog cart blew up.
Yeah. Right. Smells like a hot dog.
So I get to my meeting, go up and meet with everybody. Nobody's wearing black.
That's fine.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. But I did have to get a paper towel to wipe myself down a little bit.
Okay. Sponge it up
Yeah.
a little bit. Yeah.
But it was a great office, just a big office on the top floor of an office building on Broadway.
Okay.
Excellent.
Yeah, it was very, very nice. They were doing a lot of really cool stuff in there that I'll tell you about sometime soon. But I get into the meeting, and about halfway through the meeting, we're talking about very important stuff, and we're laughing. It was a great meeting. It was a really, really great talk, and they're very excited about working together. But about halfway through the meeting, I realized I had not fastened my belt. My belt was just sitting there open.
That's hard
So
to be
cool
cool.
though.
That's hard to be cool.
Oh, there. I mean, when I noticed it, I waited for an opportunity when they were all looking down at their laptops, and I just really quickly tried to, like, they didn't see it out of the corner of their eye, me putting on my stupid belt.
Oh, that's hard to be cool with that. I'd rather have my fly open.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
fly
right.
is like a mistake. Like you're like, oh, okay, it just
Right,
kinda,
yeah.
He
Whole
forgot,
belt was
he
undone.
forgot to lock
Yeah,
it.
no, whole belt was
Whole
undone.
belt undone.
And I didn't notice it because I hadn't tucked in my shirt
Yeah.
before I left. So
Oh,
the whole time,
gosh.
half the meeting, I'm just sitting in there like I'm propositioning everybody in the room. Like, hey guys, you know, I'm willing to get this deal done.
If you'd have done the Bundy and like tucked it in, like
Yeah, right? Yeah.
It's
So that
very
was,
Helmut Lang of you, actually. There's a designer that doesn't buckle belts. In the fall 2012 collection of Helmut Lang, he didn't buckle belts. So you could have gone that route and be like, yo, this is Helmut Lang, bro.
yeah, I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
he wasn't selling that.
Hervé Leger, yeah. Oh, did
No.
you eat anything in the meeting?
I did not eat anything in the meeting. Yeah.
You were sealed a deal. You did
All
great.
right. All right. I did have a glass of water.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good.
Don't eat in front of him.
Yeah. Another piece of advice you told me. Don't eat in front of people. Yeah.
Wear black. No one's wearing black. Everyone's eating like.
Yeah, you
People
don't.
were-
That's what they're
they
looking
were
for.
wearing green and yellow, and they had
Perfect.
jeans on and sneakers.
Good.
And,
Were their belts fastened?
their belts were all fastened.
We had nothing in common.
Yeah.
Nothing. I couldn't relate to these guys at all, fashion wise.
What kind of people are you? You buckle your belt?
You guys buckle your belts and wear colors?
Yeah.
Do you know anything about New York? I know about New York. I know the etiquette here.
I asked Davey.
Oh, I'm on those bathroom stalls up there. I know. They know.
Oh, yeah, the belt thing was
That's
very
hysterical.
embarrassing. very embarrassing.
I think you got away with it.
I did. I think I did. Yeah. No, it was a great meeting. A lot of excitement across the board in that.
You didn't
meeting.
hear like cling clang, nothing.
I did once. I legitimately did once.
You're like,
And
what the
I
hell's
don't
that?
know. I reached down for the. I don't know why I thought it was good, but it was not. It was not.
It could have been worse. You could have split your pants at the crack of your head. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
could have been way worse.
Yeah. And then I've met with.
Did anybody say anything about it?
No, they didn't. No.
Just let it go.
They wouldn't.
Yeah.
It's New York. You really don't. You never
It
know.
was so embarrassing. It was so bad.
I tell you what, my New York friends would have. I don't know who you hung out with, Davey, but my New York friends would have completely said something about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I almost wish they would have. Let's hope they didn't notice, but they definitely did.
Oop, XYZ.
That was so embarrassing. I'd never done that before. Never done that before. This was, of course, the first time. I was excited. I was rushing out the door so I could make it in time walking down there, and
That's fine.
yeah, that was stupid. So went down there later that night to a restaurant called Rosa Mexican.
Mm-hmm.
It's very good. Very good place. Very big, fancy restaurant in the fancy part of town. I realized the stark contrast between the part of town I was staying in and the part of town that these attorneys worked in.
Oh, Tribeca.
I don't know exactly where it was.
Sounds like Tribeca.
Yeah. Could have been.
Broadway.
It was near a big park that started with a W, where the Arc de Triomphe is.
Washington
That
Square Park?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Oh, well, then, the Union Square, that area. Yeah, that's nice. That's a good area.
Yeah.
Big Whole Foods on one of the corners.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. I saw that Whole Foods. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a New York local. Now.
See?
I know where you're talking about, David.
That's fun. Yeah, NYU's down there. It's a good vibe.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, you're in
yeah,
the best part of the city. That is the best.
It was a lot of fun. It really was. And the food was, I think I
good.
said this already, but the food was amazing.
Yeah.
The food was just amazing. Everything I had down there to eat was just unbelievable.
Good.
Yeah. So that was great. And then that was pretty much it. Oh, I went and saw the one of my favorite podcasts that I love to watch every week, The Legion of Skanks. Which just doesn't, it's not what it sounds like. Said that a lot in New York. It's not what it sounds like. No, that was really cool to see that live. Get that experience, talk to a couple of guys from the show. Louis J. Gomez, one of my favorite comedians.
What's it like to have a live audience during a podcast? What was that? Was that weird?
It was really cool.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was really cool. Yeah. So now we're going to start doing live podcasts.
I'm saying, like, maybe we do something.
We can get like 3 people in there.
I think we can. It was a pretty small area. It was really cool to see because these guys are very well known. I mean, they're all friends with like Joe Rogan and they do his show and all that stuff. But the room probably couldn't hold more than 40 people at the very, very most. And it was just in a little basement under a bar.
That's how Watch What Happens Live is with Andy Cohen. There's literally like only 20 people in the audience, but they still pack it every night. Yeah.
They had a great comedian on as a guest, Ari Shafir. They had a UFC fighter on as a guest, who I don't remember his name. Old school guy. But it was a lot of fun.
Nice.
It was a lot of fun. It was really cool. I mean, I really tried to pack the most I possibly could into the New York experience. Yeah, but glad to be back. Glad to be back.
Yeah, we're gonna need a bigger studio if we do that.
What, for the podcast?
To put people in here.
Yeah, I mean, we could do it on location at a place.
Yeah.
Like in the back of Amici's or something.
Or like the one that we were talking about, that you were talking about to the county, but we didn't really get it. But that's you know what I mean?
Yeah, that one.
That one.
Yeah,
that one.
I'm telling you, it was a great space. Just saying, it was a great
That's
idea.
a big
Okay.
space. Yeah.
Beautiful.
All right. Yeah, I would love to do something like that in front of a small audience. I
Let's
think
do
it'd
it.
be fun. Because you get to interact with people, you get to interact with everybody that's there, you get to hear the laughter, you get to know when you're funny or not. Like, we don't know. We tell jokes on the show. We have no idea how people are reacting.
Oh, I know. I'm funny. I got it.
You have to pay extra to hug Pete.
No, there's no extra. Oh.
Yeah. No, I'll charge for hugs.
Hugs.
A hug and greet.
Yeah, that's right.
$25 extra, lady, and you can jump.
Oh, yeah. But good times, great developments.
I'm glad you had a good time. I was a little worried because you never know how it's going to go in New York. So
Yeah.
I'm glad you had a great time.
And
Solid.
as long as if the weather works with you in New York, you're going to have a good time in New York.
Yeah.
Weather is pretty much everything. Because if it's raining, because you have to walk everywhere, and if it's raining, it can get really miserable really fast, and people get very irritated.
It was good
soggy
weather.
drawers. Nobody likes soggy drawers.
Soggy New York City is angry New York City.
Soggy socks. That's what's a trigger for me.
Angry, and like, you're stepping through like sewage and
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, the best way I can describe New York City is every block smells different.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
There's
true.
a different aroma every
urine,
block
lavender, eucalyptus, urine.
A lot of it is urine.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're in town.
That seems to be the universal
That's
smell.
the base.
That's the base smell. Yeah, then you get near some restaurants and it's just a hint of urine with
with garlic.
yeah, with lots of garlic in there.
Spicy.
Yeah. But it was a very interesting experience, very cool experience. Glad that I got to go up there and it'd be fun to go back and do some of the actual tourist stuff too. I got some of that stuff in the cats and the firehouse and all that stuff.
Yeah, but you got to do some extraordinary stuff too, like that comedy club underground. That was dope. That's cool.
Yeah,
a lot
really
of people
cool.
get to do that kind of stuff. That's
and it's
cool.
funny because it was, there's a lot of people who have done some very impressive stuff. Like on the panel of this comedy show, first of all, they didn't even think the comedy show we didn't even think it was going to start. Nobody showed up for this thing initially. And people are just waiting around for a half an hour like, well, half the comedians aren't here. We don't have an audience. I don't know if we're going to do this thing.
Did you volunteer? Like, I got you.
Of course not.
Oh, you'd been.
I could have, though.
Yeah, you could
Could have done better than some of those guys.
Yeah, I mean, some of those stand-up comedians, it's just like, okay,
Yeah,
your parents should have told you.
Daddy's
But
money.
there were, on the panel, there were guys who had been on Comedy Central shows. There was a guy who did The Daily Show for a while on the comedy panel.
Cool.
Yeah, but it was just a bunch of comedians you'd never heard of, but it was hilarious. It was hilarious. It was great, man.
Yeah. Oh, and that's how a lot of these guys, a lot of these guys hit that big thing and find their groove. It's in these locations. So.
Mhm.
Yeah, great time overall, man.
I'm glad. Good.
Yeah. Okay, let's get into the local news, shall we?
All righty.
A very unfortunate